wrong tip of the spear has had this plan for a long time. My problem is being around these people when I was young. This is life extension technology for the few, and the rest of you we don't care. So here we are, it's 2025 now. We need to talk about 30 years being under the skin, and that this is a biocyber interface to get in easier. The nano is a redundancy network, meaning that they've got optogenetics, that's light. They have the nano. They have pressure and sound. They have all these different things all around for 50 years. We have no education. The physics guys that are out there, we're going to talk about the MH370. There's a bunch of them. They will go nowhere near biophysics. That's
a lot of the work going on for me in longevity that's going to have the biggest impact is divided into stem cell related technologies and epigenetic reprogramming. And the two are to some degree related because young stem cells are reprogramming the epigenetics of the cells that you're incorporating them into. So we're seeing technologies where I'll take my stem cells or my immune system cells and co-incubate them with youthful, call them cord blood or placental cells, put them together across a membrane, and the youthful placental cells will re-educate my 63-year-old cells to make them youthful again.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The one and only James Williams Dog Waters is back, and sorry I didn't get a video out to you guys earlier today. I'm going back to my fasting and praying on Wednesday, so you can expect pretty much, ain't no telling, nothing might come out on some Wednesdays, but I was able to get to recording this, and let me pause this that's playing so you won't be distracted by it. But we started talking about spirit cities, right? And everything we've been discussing is about these various different spirit cities, which this damn thing is acting crazy again. We went through Sodom and Gomorrah, and we're still on Sodom and Gomorrah and what the fruits are of these cities, and then what the judgment is of these cities. And yesterday we touched on sexual immorality, sexual perversion, the hatred of righteousness, rejection of authority, violence and blood guilt, pride and arrogance, and saying that people who are residents of these spiritual cities are marked for destruction. And then I dropped another tidbit in about how one of the major sins of Sodom and Gomorrah was going after strange flesh. Going after strange flesh. Remember, they wanted to sleep with the angels, so much so that Lot sent out his virgin daughters for the men of the city. And when you're looking for those spiritual cities, you're going to be looking for those same things. And so now we're about to show you some strange flesh that's become public recently. Now, I found out about this 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. I'm not sure. It was a while ago when I did the story on the series of stories like Expedition Alaska, Operation Black Sun. I found out about this technology then, and I put it in a story. I didn't just come out and say, hey, they got a whole nother body that people are using, and they can put spirits in those bodies. I just didn't want to be out ahead of time. And this is the first time I actually seen someone show what's there. So watch this.
It's real.
Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to PsychSec. Can I answer any questions? What is it all about? Well, we're a company that produces 100% organic human sleeves. You're probably wondering what's a human sleeve. Well, if you gather around, I can let you know what we do here in full details. So here at PsychSec, we've been able to achieve true immortality by taking your human consciousness and storing it on a device called a portable stack. It's implanted in the base of your neck, and it collects and stores everything that makes you you. Every memory, every emotion, every sensation, everything you've ever experienced gets stored on this little device. You can see it here on this screen that's about to come up. You guys just follow me. All the information is stored on this device and can be digitally transferred from one sleeve that you currently occupy into the sleeve of your choosing.
Sleeves are basically human bodies we grow in our labs. They're organically real. Bones, tissue, organs, everything. These are the best bodies you'll ever have. Period. Nothing can hurt these bodies, but they are human. So if something were to happen to them, you can always change them out for a new one. That's why it says immortality becomes non-existent. Because you can be 50 in one body and change to the next body. You're as young as you feel. If you come this way, David's going to show you some 2018 models that you can choose from.
Well, you can choose which sleeve you desire. Now, you can either have the sleeve that you have right now, or we have a selection of wonderful sleeves that we have made through Psychosec, fully genuine and organic produced. Now, if you'd like to be taller, shorter, skinnier, if you'd like to have better vision, maybe strengthen your body, you have the choice to choose a man or a woman's sleeve. Now, if your sleeve becomes damaged or too old for your liking, simply remove from the cortical stack your DHF, your consciousness, to another, newer sleeve.
Another newer sleeve. Another newer sleeve. Now, someone may say, well, DW, that's a parody or that's from a movie. I don't believe it is. I'm going to tell you where I think it came from. I think it came from one of those damn conferences in Las Vegas that I was told I should go to, and I was like, I don't want to be on that radar. The tech conferences have all those kind of things inside of them. Anyway, when we start talking about this concept and idea of transferring consciousness, and you realize that they talked about this, that was 2018 when this was made, because she said the 2018 models. And then you start to really contemplate what you've been seeing and come to the understanding that AI, artificial intelligence, was active in 2008 and 2010. And then you wonder yourself, man, how far along have we come? And then you think about Elon Musk and his concept and idea of, hey, let's use a AI brain chip. And it brings you down the road of the matrix. But we don't need to go that far, because that's not what the battle is. The truth is there, that's what they're trying to do. The battle is here in this moment. And the way to defeat these people is to make the concept and idea unpopular. And how do you do such a thing? You do it by defeating it at this stage. At the stage where men are dressing like women and trying to institute the concept and idea of you can change genders. You can't get people to believe you can change bodies until you have a generation of people who can believe they can change genders. Once that's ingrained in a generation's head, then they could say, oh, well, I'm a robot. I'm a toaster. Hey, man, I'm a stop sign. Oh, I identify as a paper bag. No, I identify as a wolf. No, I identify as a 13-year-old little boy, so it's okay for me to come over and date your 13-year-old little girl, even though I'm 50. This is where the battle is won at this point. If you let it get to the point to where, you let it get to the point on the battlefield to where this technology is rolling out, there's no stopping it. You can't let it get to that point. So we have to stand up against these type of people, and they need to be told the truth. Bro, something is wrong with you, my friend. There's something wrong with you. That's where it all has to be stopped at, right there. With people like that. People who run around and say things like this.
I am a woman, and I use the women's restroom. And I guarantee you, not one of you will stop me.
And they did it this way on purpose. When you look at this gentleman, you know that something's wrong with him. I don't mean the concept and idea of him saying that he's a woman. I mean, you know, there's something mentally wrong with that person. Like he's off. And then you trace back the fact that he's off to things that he was given as a kid on a schedule. And then you start to tie it together and realize, wait, one thing led to two things and two things led to three things. That's why in Hataguro, he says it's bad when you allow one thing to become two. Yeah. The Way of the Samurai says it's bad when you allow one thing to become two things. What he means by that is, no. It's bad when you don't address a problem up front, because then that problem grows and it flourishes to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems. So it's better to deal with that problem initially right then and there. I live my life by that rule. If there's a problem, person, individual, situation, I go deal with it right there before it gets an opportunity to multiply. Well, they've had an opportunity to multiply this problem. We're probably on stage at this point in time. If we're going to 1 to 20, we're probably at 18. Probably at 18. I'll say 15. They need another lockdown, and they need more people to go night forever. Is what the globalists need at this point in time. And I know there's massive victories going on. There's RFK Jr. Stopping all the various vaccines and saying they're unhealthy, which, I mean, 48 months ago, somebody was, they would demonetize you for that. So we have massive victories going on, but we're fighting from behind. Like we're trying to catch up with a movement that's already in motion. And that's the danger of it. But it's important that we know these things. Why? Because there's people who do stuff like this. These are the people who will say, I want to change my body. Well, how do we know? Because look at what they're doing to the bodies right now. They'll want to change their bodies. And as long as that system can find people who are unhappy with how God made them and don't embrace the beauty that God made them, then we're going to have a problem. Now, if you take the stupid lip stuff off and whatever that is on a chest, I don't know why you would do something like that. Maybe that's a balloon and you're joking, but I mean, you look like a damn alien right now. I'm sorry. Like an alien. It is what it is. But these are the people who will go into that system. These are the people who will be digital residents of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I need you to understand, if you can download your consciousness to a computer chip, then they have access to all your memories and all your conscious. They have access to everything. Why do you think they're building these massive data centers? The massive data centers is to store your whole entire life because they want to be like God. They want to be like God. And just so you'll see what they're doing, the virtual reality world, video game world, all these, like you have to prime people to be prepared for that technology. If I want to prime you for moving your consciousness from point A to point B, I have to redefine reality for you. And you see it, we've always seen this kind of rolled out in video games first. They came out with the virtual headset. Remember the iconic image of all the Meta employees with the headset, the Google like goggles on their head and virtual reality goggles on their head, and then Mark Zuckerberg walking around outside of them while they all had their goggles on. Like you're inside my world, then I'm the God of this world, then I'm outside of the world. I'm outside of the virtual world that I created for you to be in. You don't get any more inside of a virtual world than when you start switching over your consciousness. And there's another video that I saw a long time ago. I'm going to try and find it. That's what I was trying to find while I was paused, where the consciousness was uploaded to some kind of microchip, and then you just existed in the virtual world completely. You didn't need to screw this world. Your whole life was in the virtual world. They made movies about it, but for you to understand where we are, you have to understand what they're doing and what they're rolling out. Watch this. And this is talking about how mixed reality could revolutionize the way we learn about the human body. Augmented reality showing you, like, while you're in your office, you can look at the human body. They can project the human body in front of your face with glasses. So when you talk about the spinal cord or the heart, you can actually turn and look at the heart in your hand. It's not that you are looking at it on a computer. When they talk about the human skull, you can break the structures into 6,000 parts. The lungs, you can pull them out. So you can see what lungs look like, the brain. And the world that we're headed to, that's actually kind of cool, honestly. And if we didn't have wicked people in control of it, it would be fantastic. The technology is not the problem. It's the people who manage the technology. It's the people who have control of the technology that's the problem. Should we have life extension? I don't want to live forever, but if you wanted to extend your life, then great. Go for it. But that life extension shouldn't lead you into a virtual world. It shouldn't lead you into committing crimes and then getting another body and going committing more crimes. And I want to say this about the concept and idea where people were saying that Hillary Clinton was cloned, that Joe Biden was cloned, or this person was cloned. Back then, when people talked about it, you thought it was crazy. Well, I didn't think it was crazy because I knew they had this type of technology. But people, you would think it's crazy. Well, that's a clone of Hillary Clinton. The real Hillary Clinton fell down and died. Remember? Yeah. It's with this type of technology, it's perfectly possible to have a clone of an individual. If I'm not mistaken, Clone Aid is the company that cloned people's pets, but the Clone Aid out of Argentina is the one that clones humans. And so I just wanted to do this video, let you guys know how far along we are in these spirit cities. And this is a combination of cities. The amazing thing that we're facing in America, and not even America, the whole entire world, is we're facing a convergence of all these spiritual cities. With the city of where Nimrod resides, which is Babylon, where technology rules and reigns, while simultaneously Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like a spiritual mega city with all these different territories. It was a spiritual nation, like a United States of America, but the various spirit cities or states is what it is. It makes sense. California was where all the Silicon Valley stuff was. Silicon Valley, the place of Nimrod. California, the place or Denver in California, the places where Sodom and Gomorrah reigned. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you. This video ain't fun because it ain't nothing to joke about. Because when you understand the reality of what we're facing, you realize how dangerous this really is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. I'll be back in a couple of hours with your next video.